Ah, man. That's some heavy shit, man. Hey, man. Am I driving okay?
I think we're parked, man.
Oh, shit. God damn, what was in that shit, man? I never had no dope like that before.
I caught you knocking at my cellar door. I love you, baby, can I have some more? Ooh, the damage done. I hit the city and I lost my band. I watched the needle take another man. Gone, gone, the damage done. I sing the song because I love the man. I know that some of you don't understand. Milk blood to keep from running out. I've seen the needle and the damage done. A little part of it in everyone, but every junkie's like a
So how would you deal with a student or an underage person you catch using drugs?
Well, the first thing we would do is we'd be concerned about their health and well-being. So we'd make sure they're medically okay. And if it means us having to take them to a hospital, we will. The second thing we would do, especially if they're underage, we'd take them home and hand them over to a parent or guardian and let them know what's occurred, how it happened, and so on and so forth. And thirdly, we would deal with the criminality aspect of it. If they're in possession of illegal drugs, they would be charged accordingly.
What are some of the worst cases of drug abuse you've encountered?
It varies, unfortunately, quite often when you're dealing with the people that we deal with on the street, whether it's homeless, some people involved in illegal activity, whether it's prostitution or drug use is always an issue with a lot of these people, and sometimes they do particular types of crime to feed their habit. So we come across it quite often, and it's very disheartening to see people who were average people like yourself and myself, and what they become because of drug use. And unfortunately, here's an example of some people that it's drug use to the extreme, whether they've been involved, in this guy's case, 7 months, a healthy young man, and all of a sudden, he looks more like roadkill.
Yeah. Do you often come across the same people using, or is it often new people experimenting with drugs?
You know what? Often we deal with the same sorts of people on an ongoing basis. Usually those that are addicted to various drugs. We don't come across new people. Often, if we do, it's usually a medical complaint because they're out of their mind and they don't know what they're doing. And so that's how we come across people who are experimenting.
Has there been any significant increases or decreases in the number of teens you come across?
No, it's generally a steady percentage that we often see year after year.
Have you ever been successful in turning anyone away from drugs?
Yeah, we have, and if you provide people the support that they need to help them turn their life around and correct the behaviors, it's very successful, and often we can only be part of the process, and usually we come in when they've hit a real low in their life, whether they've been caught, doing illegal activities such as selling drugs or prostitution or break-in enters or store theft, things like that we get involved, and it's like, you know what, you've hit rock bottom, you got to turn yourself around. But again, people using have to acknowledge they have a problem and they have to want to seek help for it.
Well, if you find someone who does want to turn their life around, would you just give them encouragement, or do you actually have centers to send them to?
We would take the steps to get them into different social agencies. We'll make phone calls on people's behalf if it's the here and now, if it's present. They're in our midst. We would do what we could to help them.
What would you say are the heaviest drug areas in Toronto? That's a difficult question to answer, because different areas people experiment with different types of drugs. Quite often it's economically based. Oh yeah.
What people will experiment with, what they can afford. The entertainment district on any given night, when it's hopping, it's tough because there's a whole lot of people in a very confined area, so that would be of an issue.
What drugs do you commonly come across?
These days we're coming across prescriptions, OxyContin, Tylenol, things like that, as well as weed, hashish, crack, unfortunately.